I meant to ask my homeboy, man, too. He got stream, but I meant to ask him. I meant to ask him about the whole LeBron thing tonight, man. LeBron finally made the decision to go to the 76ers. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little different, but definitely a stat team, though. That's for sure. That team is stat for real, And we're gonna listen to the video from the guy Legend of Wing. Go on the channel, the Low Post. Now, if you want to listen to more basketball takes from him, man, go ahead and go subscribe to him, man. I've been rocking him for years now, so definitely go ahead and subscribe to him. This must be an Instagram reaction when we do this. Yeah. It's how this Instagram reaction right here.
I cannot lie. This is crazy. This is the definition of bonkers. This is ludicrous. Crazy. First and foremost, I would like a round of applause for not making a bunch of LeBron James videos over the past week and some change now, because every other day there was an update about where LeBron was going to go from people who clearly had no idea where LeBron was going to go, because the team he eventually chose was a team that no one was really reporting about at all. And I would also like to receive some credit. The one time I actually did make a LeBron video, the team that he eventually chose was the team that I suggested. Which then brings us to the Philadelphia 76ers. And I cannot lie, in my opinion, of all the teams that he has lined out and in great detail, this is the best option for him. If you go back and watch that video, him choosing Philly is the team that I suggested. However, as I just sat there and alluded to, it is true. LeBron James is signing with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option courtesy of Clutch Sports Group. Man.
That's crazy though with the 76ers, man. You trying to revitalize that city for the basketball side of things, man. The Philly fans already got the NFL, bro. They don't really need all. Really, I blame Boston for this though, man. I ain't gonna lie. I blame Boston for this. They could prevent this from happening by not trading Jalen Brown to the damn 76ers, bro. They should never did that.
Crazy, right? Now, how did we get here? It has been a frenzy, definitely a doozy. Everything from Pat Bev claiming that he knew when LeBron was going to make this announcement. That day came and went, nothing happened. Then you had Adam Silver literally begging and pleading with LeBron, please hurry up and make your decision so we can finish the NBA schedule because a bunch of networks are waiting for you. Then you had LeBron out in Fanatics Fest, and if you dug a little too deep into his words and terminology, you would have came away from that interview believing that you knew exactly where LeBron was going to go. And then you had Rich Paul with a whiteboard and a podcast, and outside of like the first 2 episodes, ever since then, Rich has literally been saying nothing. I don't know why you all kept uploading the clips from the pod and Rich, he says something else. He was saying nothing. He didn't know what was going on, and he is, to be fair, openly admitted it. But then there was like very credible news, or at least seemed to be very credible news over the past handful of days, from someone losing their job over in Miami at the official YouTube page for accidentally leaking or making public a video that seemed like to be in preparation of LeBron's announcement as he was going to join Miami on July 27th. To that individual, sorry you lost your job. Tough economy, brother, but that is a mistake. Definitely a mistake. And then you had...
Oh yeah, I did see that, bro. Oh my God, bro. That's crazy, bro. Oh. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I want to lost some job with that. I seen that, bro. Thinking they thought they signed LeBron. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Man, I feel bad though, man. I don't think he need to do it.
Draymond and Steve Kerr, they were teasing us. Then you had a bunch of reports claiming that the Warriors, if they were to trade for AD, what they would have to give up in return, and if they get AD, then they effectively got LeBron. Then you had Draymond saying, hey, Bronny, you know, I'm already willing to take a pay cut. I'll take a pay cut for you, and I'll go sit in the corner and be PJ Tucker. Not trolling. That's literally what he said on his podcast. So there was a bunch of shaboinging left, right.
Oh, that boy D-Ride that man. For real. Golly. Deuce, I be PJ tucking on. Dang, Will, you can't shoot a three, bro. Like, God, shoot a three like he has a backpack on, bro.
Up and down for LeBron, and yet here he is choosing the team that, again, nobody really was talking about, but the team, in my opinion, that is the perfect fit for him, and the team that I also predicted a couple of weeks ago when I made my video about where he potentially was going to go. And again, they are the Philadelphia 76ers. So why exactly do I say that? Well, first, I'll tell you that right after words from today's sponsors, and they are Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth makes ultra premium bedding, pajamas, and bath essentials. Why exactly do I believe that LeBron is best fitted out in Philadelphia? Again, this is something that I stated before it even happened, but the reason for this is because everything really does fall into place for LeBron to not only be maximized from an individual standpoint, in particular at the age that he's at right now, but more importantly, a lot of the other options, they really and truly did not have complementary pieces to aid LeBron in not only maximizing who he is, but also raising the ceiling for everyone else as well. Probably the biggest hurdle that I do believe a lot of teams had to overcome in the attempt to acquire LeBron was not only financially, but also trying to figure out a way where there isn't a redundancy in his passing and playmaking. If he went out in Cleveland, yes, James Harden, you decided to opt out to give more wiggle room, but again, just far too redundant. Then you had Draymond out in Golden State. Yes, I know you said that you were willing to be PJ Tucker, but I mean, at the end of the day, it still works with you being on ball and Curry kind of moving around. And as soon as they were unable to get Anthony Davis, I do believe, as many other reports claim, a lot of that was then ruled out from the POV of LeBron putting on a Warriors jersey. Then you had LeBron going to Miami, and this is where I think a lot of people were pretty consistently saying that this is his best chance to win a championship, and they fit really well. In my humble opinion, I just didn't see it. I believe that that team needed as much floor spacing as possible, because a front court that was going to feature both Giannis and Bam, that was already an awkward fit. LeBron being in the mix coming off of a season where he really wasn't that great of a three-point shooter, and also his shot has been a bit inconsistent from time to time as a Laker. I just didn't see the fit working out well out there with the Miami Heat as much as a lot of other people have claimed to be. But in Philly, his passing and playmaking is not only complemented by a bunch of play finishers, individuals who are fast, athletic, but more importantly, it is a necessity. So the biggest attribute that LeBron provides to a team will aid someone like Tyrese Maxey, who's been trying to develop as a passer and playmaker, but clearly him being a combo guard or him being on ball, he's not the same passer and playmaker of a James Harden, who he's grown and learned up under, and he's not even as good as a passer and playmaker as someone like LeBron. VJ Edgecombe, he too has grown very quickly, and I do believe, and we'll talk about this later, VJ's ascension did.
Yeah, I think ascension will be stunning a little bit, bro, because LeBron was there for at least a year. Hopefully, it helps him out a year where, like, learn from him, then become a better player out, you know. He was pretty good, like, he was pretty good, man, trying to get out the mud type shit, you know what I'm saying? He's someone you want to watch out for the next year if LeBron retires.
Propel themselves into this conversation, how quickly he impressed in his rookie season, all that works. But again, someone like VJ is best suited if he has someone around him who once more is a passer and playmaker. And then you have Jaylen Brown, and I do believe the addition of JB really did propel LeBron into this direction. If they still had Paul George, I don't necessarily know how I feel about LeBron being on his team from that perspective, even though I do think, PG was a really good fit, better three-point shooter, does provide more floor spacing than what this roster has. But Jaylen Brown is another player who is going to thrive by having somebody who can initiate the offense, set him up, make things far more easier for him. And so the biggest attribute that LeBron can really add to any team in the NBA, his IQ, his passing and playmaking, that was not only a necessity, and it will maximize who he is on this roster, but also maximize everyone else as well. Now, the other thing to take into consideration about LeBron going to Philly, like I stated before, is VJ Edgecombe. I truly believe how impressive he was in the beginning part of his rookie campaign is a huge reason why not only LeBron but also Philly believe that, hey, we are much closer than what we believe that we are from winning a championship. championship. I stated this before in previous videos about how if you are a team in the NBA at this point, if you can find a rotational player who is on a rookie deal, not making that much money at all, bro, that, in my opinion, outside of getting your star and your franchise player, that player is the second most important piece to winning a championship, because you have to fill out a roster with a bunch of players who are overachieving from a dollar to production standpoint, right? So VJ being very, very impressive on both sides of the floor in his rookie season is something that also has aided them significantly. He was great on ball as a defender, showed a lot of potential in those regards, kind of gambled a little bit off ball, but I do believe having a situation where you have another veteran in LeBron that can really help you out and grow and mature your game, especially if this is going to be longer than just 1 year. VJ definitely helped them in this regard. Being a rotational player, starting caliber player on a rookie contract, did make enough wiggle room to make a lot of things work and give them more flexibility to add even more things on their bench. You then also add the other additions in the offseason, regardless if it was Jaylen Brown, LeBron. You have Anthony Simons, you have Wade. Bona is well coming off the bench, and I do believe what I saw out of him, great hustle guy, great energy coming off of the bench. That's another individual that will be able to receive a lot more minutes because there actually is a legitimate passer and playmaker on the floor, and so he'll be a bit more productive as well because of LeBron. So there's a lot of things that this team can provide on the offensive side of the floor in terms of floor spacing, energy, up and down play, transition work with Maxey. Now you add Jaylen Brown. Like, there's a lot of things that you can add around LeBron that is going to make things work out and maximize everything. But more importantly as well, this is a very unique situation to where LeBron's passing and playmaking is needed and it's something to help maximize him and everybody else. But also they're in a situation where there's a lot of other quality offensive pieces as well. So yes, Maxey is going to need somebody to help him handle and distribute, but Maxey is not so bad at it to where like LeBron can't, sit back and relax for a second or even miss some games, and Maxey has the capability of going out there and still winning games on his own alongside Jaylen Brown and VJ Edgecombe. Also, speaking of VJ and Maxey, their ability to win as many games as they did last year with Embiid missing time and Paul George.
See, that's the thing right there, bro. Like, Joel Embiid gonna miss his time, bro. He gonna miss half the season, bro. And LeBron, like, obviously he's 42, so like, I don't envision him playing like he maybe play like 65 games, maybe he's threshold. I don't know. I don't see it, given the fact that like he's up there in age and like really astonishing that like he's still even a top 10 player in the league, bro. At his age, but like it's good to see that like the Tyrese Maxey and the VJ, whenever they need to step up, they can. They have the ability to like do that. And you see last year where they didn't have them back, so this is a team really do have good pieces, bro. Nick Nurse is a good coach in my opinion, so just how long Joel Embiid gonna hold it up for the season, and like and how much playing time they're gonna have together. Oh, damn, I forgot. I forgot about Jaylen Brown. Not, cause I don't think Jaylen Brown really misses games either, so like, shoot, they're gonna be straight. They're vying for the top 2 seed in the NBA, man, in the Eastern Conference. I could definitely see it. If Joel Embiid just stay each other for like most of the playoffs, bro, they can make it out the second round.
He's dealing with a bunch of other things off the court as well. So the fact that both PG and Embiid, they missed a lot of time last season, and yet the Sixers were still very impressive. That was another thing that really caught my eye earlier on in the season that made me believe that in the right circumstance, bro, Philly can really put themselves in a position to make a deep postseason run. Again, things kind of fell apart in the second round, but obviously a lot of things do center around the idea of Embiid and his health and when he's available. But now with LeBron on the roster and Jaylen Brown, you're going to have personnel that will make things far easier for Embiid, for him to miss as much time as possible, and quite frankly, that's needed throughout an 82-game regular season to properly prepare himself for a deep postseason run, which, in my opinion, that to me is the biggest, of course, question mark and what if, but to me, that is also probably the biggest upside as well. Joel Embiid is about to go into a season where, in my opinion, the first time in his career where he has the ability to really take a step back, chill, relax, not not overwork himself in the regular season, be on a minutes restriction, get a little rhythm underneath his wing with some of the other players, especially the new acquisitions, and be properly prepared for postseason basketball. We saw what that looked like in that first round against the Boston Celtics. You're down 1-3, and B gets inserted into the action, and he changed everything. And I do mean everything. And so Embiid having somebody like a LeBron James on the roster not only means very similar to where he was at a few years ago when he was playing at an MVP status and he had an elite passer and playmaker in James Harden. And I'm just going to assume that
someone in his chat said Brian be on this section, bro. Oh my god, bro. People are funny, bro. I swear they funny.
Embiid, when he figures out how to work well with LeBron, he too will continue to get maximized in those regards. But more importantly, bro, Embiid being able to chill and relax and have a roster that he can lean on, regardless of it's on the court or when he's on the bench missing time, that is, in my opinion, that is the scariest outcome of all of this. Because Embiid being able to chill during the regular season and ramp it up in the postseason and even do it in spurts and moments, because again, even in the postseason, let's just say he's still on a minutes restriction, bro. Embiid might be able to give you some of the most impactful 25 to 30 minutes of action in first, second, and third round. So in my opinion, it wasn't even close. And I said this 2 weeks ago. The Sixers were the best opportunity, the best chance for LeBron, especially of the teams that he had on his whiteboard in Rich Paul. LeBron going to Philly made the most sense. It made way too much sense. Floor spacing, athleticism, some young players, young who are available, Jaylen Brown, VJ, and Maxey. They're going to play a lot of games as well. All those things kind of culminated into a fit, in my opinion, that made way too much sense. And I like I said it 2 weeks ago, I don't even know why it took this long to come to this conclusion, because when you stop and really look at all of his options, Philly was by far the best, like not even close. They were the best opportunity and chance for him to be on a team that made sense, maximize what he could or could not be from an individual standpoint, win a championship potentially, and put themselves in a situation. Of course, I see the chat saying Spurs. Yes, San Antonio would have been that. But if they were not considering San Antonio, and some of the reports claiming that San Antonio really were not considering LeBron as well, if that's off the table, bro, the Sixers were easily, and I do mean easily, the best opportunity for him. So shout out to LeBron, shout out to Philly. Hell of a way to go through this process, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. Crazy way to go through the process era, from Ben Simmons to Jimmy Butler to here we are now with VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, and LeBron all surrounding Joel Embiid. Hell of a way. I do mean hell of a way for all this to transpire. Also a crazy way, and I'm going to talk about this in another video on lowlights, but
hell of a way to be off-season champ, though, man. Hell of a way, bro. No cap.
Crazy for Colin Cowherd to say, hey, Bron, don't worry. You can go and retire. We have Ben Simmons. Just for LeBron to effectively replace Ben Simmons on this team, that's crazy. All that is crazy. We'll talk about it more and more. But shout out to Philly, easily the biggest winners in this offseason, and I don't even think it's remotely close. They were able to go from Paul George to Jaylen Brown. They were able to add LeBron James, fill out their 4 spot, get the passer and playmaker that they desperately needed, someone with IQ and experience as well to aid a lot of the younger players in growing and developing, all at little to no money. Like, they are very clearly the biggest winners in the offseason, and I don't even think it's remotely close. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah, right. They definitely won the NBA offseason, bro. That's crazy. Like, considering the fact that like LeBron was thinking about retiring too, like I don't know, I thought he was gonna retire after this year. I really did thought he was gonna retire after this year. So he did, but that's good to see like going for one more ring though, man. See if you get the 5. So get the 5 before you retire and such shit. So yeah, man. I mean, it's a reach, but shoot, win the ring for Kobe's hometown. Shoot, so I see it, but yeah, I like it though. I like it, man. I don't. It really depends how the season ends for him. Like, I feel like if he wins a ring, he might actually retire. But if he doesn't, he may play for one more year to get that 5th ring. Because, like, you know, he wants to tie Kobe with rings. So, yeah, I can see that too. So, we'll see, man. But I do see them as a favorite to win their all next couple seasons, bro. I do see it for sure.